This is Clix on the Barbie. Join us as we talk about Clix in Australia, current Heroclix happenings, and a dash of meta. Welcome to Clix on the Barbie, episode 36. I'm Ben Jones, and with me tonight I have Bobby Kriesman. How you going, Bobby?
Doing great.
Excellent. Great to have you. And tonight in this episode, we're going to be talking about what's been going on, our good, bad, and the ugly. We'll talk a little bit about Heroclix we've been playing, listen about Bobby's experience of playing in Thailand, which would be really cool. And also, we'll talk a little bit about the Batman team-up set, how we went with our pools, what we like in the set, and also a bit about getting the Batman in Australia, which was difficult. But we'll get to that. So let's turn on the gas, light the Barbie, and let's talk some Clix. Well, welcome, Bobby, to Clix on the Barbie for tonight, and it's good to have you. And yeah, how are you? How have you been? What's your good, bad, and the ugly? What have you been up to?
Great. I mean, good is I kind of feel like we're slowly getting regular play going again in Queensland. We have it's been 7 or 8 of us there, and we've been doing at least twice a month for the last couple months, which has just been really cool. It's been kind of fun to be playing Clix on a regular basis again. And it's been, and it's not been hardcore competitive, right? It's been much more kind of casual, which I think is, honestly, I think that's kind of the most enjoyable form of Heroclix, right?
Yeah, I agree.
You kind of get some really fun games.
Yeah, I think sometimes we curve ourselves too much to the super competitive stuff when we start talking and things like that. But I know that playing casually is just great fun.
It totally is, yeah. So, absolutely, yeah. So, bad is probably our distributors in Australia really suck. It's just so bad. I mean, and let's face facts. My understanding is we are now totally down to just the one distributor, LPG, right?
Yep, this is correct. Let's play games.
Yeah, and they could not care less about Heroclix or the players just at all, right? I mean, I have literally had more success contacting random guys through Heroclix networks in the States, getting it shipped over, and finding a player in Thailand that loved the game and could get us stock that way. And whenever some random player, and able to work through other players to get stock and get product information and get better and better availability of stock than the distributor in country, there's a problem there. Right?
Yes. So yeah, certainly the Batman team up has been a problem, and it's been a problem for the last couple of sets with limited amounts of Heroclix coming into Australia. I think they're trying to work on it, but yeah, it's still taking a while.
Such a thing. So ugly is probably that as well. Let's just be honest. That's not true. I'm trying to think. So, ugly. I think was yesterday. We were playing with the Thai players, and I took it was a co-worker and one of the local Thai players, and we were playing just kind of a demo fun game, no time set, just playing until till the end of it, right?
Yep.
Dude rolled super senses on 4 rolls in a row. And I was just seriously, give me that die. It is mine now. You can no longer use it. That was pretty ugly.
Yep, no, that makes sense. I was playing a game tonight, and my friend's been playing a Hydra team, trying to get Red Skull working, but certainly having those Hydra agents, and one run in with a pulse wave, gets my Scooby gang, and pulse wave, and hit a critical hit pulse wave, and hit 4 of them and so my understanding of that was that they get 2 clicks damage each because it's 1 plus. Yep.
That is correct. Yeah,
so,
I think that is correct.
Yeah. So
unless does Pulse Wave say locked one?
In the end, we went with the okay. I was pretty happy to say, man, you've just come in.
It's much more epic to go to.
Yeah, that's right.
It's much more epic to go.
He pulse wave the critical hit pulse wave. It's all. I'm going to take 2 for that. So, But yeah, when the dice don't go your way or they go someone else's way, sometimes it's pretty ugly. So
But
yeah,
I mean,
no,
we all also love it, right? That's part of the fun of the game. It's
yeah,
just that epicness when crap like that goes down.
yep. You love seeing those moments where you've like, I know I've played. So my friend Dwayne, who I've been playing with tonight, he played a Hydra team. I played the Scooby Gang and Batman, and we've been playing together for a while. So I've seen him like roll 3 critical hits in a row, and just stuff like that. That's why he loved to play the game. You
It's
know,
totally true.
I did the math on it. It was like, what was it, 1 in 46,000 chance of seeing it, and I was like, okay, I've seen it now. I hopefully I'll never see it again.
That is
You know,
awesome. I
That's-
mean, and I guess I'll go another ugly, just because like the metagame I played with a local player last night was it essentially came down to Faust on Faust.
yeah,
And
okay,
that is just ugly because like basically, you're doing the mental math in your head to kind of figure out. Right. Well, what happens if this attack gets through, and can I eat the damage
can I eat the
that I would
mystics?
get from Faust? Yeah, can I eat the Mystic's feedback from Faust? And if I can't, or if I really whiff, and then give them the double usage of the prop or the double usage of the whatever, how bad is it? And really, the game just totally becomes a dice fest at that point.
Yep.
It really comes down to what people roll on Faust rolls.
And I do like him so much. He just makes those teams which don't have a theme. Like, okay, cool. He's my X +1 to every team. So there's a part of me that looks forward to him retiring. But I also he's like, so it'd be good to have him out of that meta or out of that competitive scene.
Kind of will, yeah. But dude, like on a short map, his 8 range is insane.
Well, you just pop him in the middle map and he's hitting everywhere.
Exactly, totally. There's
Right.
like literally nothing they can do that you can't Faust.
Yep. So the Silver Age is going to take on a new meaning with this, but I've got thoughts on that as well, probably later on. But that comes down to track. For myself, I've been back at school, so that's back at work. I guess work, not school. Work. Yeah. I try sometimes. I'm working
Is that
out.
the good, the bad, or the ugly, or just kind of
I
like
think
all
that's
three?
all 3 lumped in together. It was, my class has been going really well, but it's back at work, and I do enjoy time off. But yeah, so it's all been good. I've been trying to get in as many games as I can of Heroclix. My year sort of started off a bit slow, but been trying to play some games play a game online at least once a week and catch up with a friend, and we play once a week. So a few games here. Yesterday I had a game online and played LaFleas and Saint Walker. And yeah, I played LaFleas with it, and I think this is how it works. So I had LaFleas, I just like, because I'm going, cool, non-theme seems to be a thing now going forward, I reckon, but that's another story. So I did a sort of an X-Men swap, I had Cable with the Pog sword on, and so I swapped him out,
Nice.
and then my understanding that would he'd drop the sword. Is that right? If I swap him out?
Yes, you should, totally should. Yeah, correct. Yeah,
And
totally.
so I just moved the fleas on there, and he picked it up,
Yeah.
and so then he had a giant reach 3. So
That's insane. That's really good.
and because when he charges, well, he can charge and punch, and then my understanding, he unequips and can equip equip automatically. He doesn't need to be next to them. So
Yeah.
I stole. He had Anthony had a Mega Red with the Colony sword, I think it was. So I was like, cool, I'll go straight after him and take him, and take that one. So I had,
Nice.
I just had this picture of LaFleas with like 2 swords in his hands, a Pog and Colony sword, and going at it, which was just nice. So yeah, it's good fun. I'm enjoying. I enjoyed playing that team. He hit hard and hit well.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
That sounds like a blast. And I've not actually tried playing Larfleeze yet, so it feels like the fact that he can equip and steal a ton of equipments and just kind of run the board in terms of getting everybody's equipments. That seems like it could be very situationally ridiculous.
Yeah, and so I was like, it's probably no good me playing my casual game like on a Thursday night that I have, because we never use equipment, and so but I think in a more competitive environment it could be viable. He feels squishy. He has no stock clicks at 175 points.
That's
Yeah,
kind of rough, dude.
it is.
It's kind of rough, and like assume kind of current meta. I don't know. I mean, I guess it feels like people are building towards, and especially with Saint Walker out there, like the 4 range in power that you're getting off Saint Walker,
Yeah,
like
which is great.
like it feels like people are building well, or even just freaking Sakarian Iron Man, right?
Yep.
Assume like a 12 attack, 5 damage flurry,
Yep.
right? Is probably like the big hit that's coming, and yeah, it feels like you kind of need stop clicks to be able to have a chance against that.
Yeah, and look, he's got invincible. I was perplexing up to a 20 defense, but still going like, yeah, a 12,
Yeah.
13 attack, which people can come in with is
Yeah,
it's hittable.
it's not gonna. Yeah, correct. It's still at that point. It is still very much a die roll.
Yeah, and so I'm look, and something I'll continue to probably play around with him just because I'm a big Laughley's fan, so I'll continue to play around with him. But I think, yeah, we'll see what happens as I go. But yeah, Saint Walker was certainly on the team, and it was the things like he could charge. I thought he could charge in, do his attack, take someone's equipment, drop a chainsaw, then that's flurrying. If he carries Saint Walker with him, Saint Walker can drop a chainsaw as well. And so all of a sudden you're getting attacks up and things like that as well. Yeah, continue to play on that. I think it's something I want to do. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. Now I've lost my plot. Take time to pause.
Sorry, my fault.
No, you're fine. You're all good.
We're
You're all
talking
good.
about Larfleeze and Meta and Sakarian Iron Man and Flurrying and all the rest of it.
And look, yeah, I put that. I think because Anthony said put something tough together. I was like, okay, I'll put something tough. And like, I think I had tempo on there, and I've grown to like tempo. So what's that? Rise and fall, and yeah, the +3. So Larfleeze was like charging for 8, hit from 3 squares away. So that was good. But also, if I needed to, I just ran her up there next to his super senses characters and took their super senses away, so Larfleeze could hit them. Yeah, and I've really grown to like her. And the mainstay on that team was Venom Magneto. He was there as well. But
Venom Magneto is just still ridiculous value.
Well, it just becomes that.
And you're right. Like he actually got a lot better with a whole short map.
Yeah.
And changed the rules.
So yeah, because there's some craziness to come, but I like it. And as I was saying tonight, I had a game, just a casual game. My friend was playing Hydra, Red Skull, and some Taskmasters. I played the whole Mystery Inc. team and Mystery Inc. There we go. And Batman. I had Batman on there, a common Batman. It was a 300-point team on the dot. Played one of the mystery cards. Is it mystery cards? And so that was really good. Had lots of had a couple of perplexes on there. Yeah, I was actually really surprised. I played the one which gave me shape change on a 6, and it didn't take me long to get 3 on there. I'm guessing everyone has shape change. That's what it felt like. So then I did one of those horrible things where he attacked and said, "Cool, I'm taking this guy." And I said, "Cool, shape change, roll a 6." And then he said, "Okay, I'll attack this one, shape change, roll a 6." And then he did it again. And I rolled a 6 again. I was like, "Okay, I'm sorry, I'm sorry."
But it feels so good. It's dirty at the same time.
Yes, very much.
Totally a thing.
So, but it was good fun, and I really liked how they synergized together. And probably as I was going through, I was finding out more and more about them. And so I look forward to playing again. We've got our regular monthly event at the shop, I guess. Just people come and get together, we play. I'm going to try that one out on Sunday as well. So yeah, that's pretty much what I've been playing. I've had some other games, but nothing too major. But I'm just enjoying looking and team building at the moment certainly with the new Batman stuff.
There's a lot of options in there, and DC sets tend to be greater value just in general, right? I mean, I feel like they do recognize that you get a lot fewer sets, so they try to make the figures. There seems to be a whole lot less waste in there, but man, like Batman Team Up, it's a solid set. Like I feel like even if they're not, true tournament meta, they're mighty close. Like, like the Teen Titans, like if you throw 4 or 5 of those on a team together, like Jinx gives them all mystics, Robin or Beast Boy gives them all toughness, and then there's someone else that gives them all super senses, and like you stack 3 or 4 or 5 of those, and it starts getting kind of scary.
Yeah.
And especially for the cartoon Teen Titans Go, you're like, wait, what?
Not these little guys. I think that's
That's totally a thing.
might be part of their philosophy going forward, is that they really want to make theme teams synergistic, I guess. Is that the word?
Yeah.
Or did I just make a word up? That they work really well together with that change to theme teams, that they're trying to build that theme teams. And I think that'll come through team up cards as well.
That's true.
Yeah.
I think that's very true, and I think that's very much kind of what they had in mind for it was, oh crud, there's no reason to build theme other than, something you get on the cards, so maybe we start adding more stuff on the cards, right? So,
Yeah. And like we know, we haven't spoken about the rules change that's happened since our last podcast, since last time we recorded, and we're sort of a bit sporadic with recording, but we're just trying to... I want to talk about it, but I think we probably need a longer episode, and I think we've got some other exciting things to talk about with your trip. But that was one of the things. We know that, and it's been sort of... Some people have liked it, some people haven't, the loss of a theme team prob. But my feeling...
That makes a big difference, too. It really does.
Yeah.
I was kind of surprised at it, but anyway. We've talked about that later.
And we might as well talk now. I just think I go... Theme team probs, even in my casual games, we use them up pretty quickly, like first attack or something like that. So I'm not unafraid to lose them. Well, when we're losing them, so that doesn't really worry me too much. I just hope they start making. So then you go, well, there's no need to have a theme team. Then you just go unthemed, and I still go, no. If they can make things like team up cards and just general characters that work really well if they're in a theme team, I think that'll work better. I don't know. Yeah. That's my thinking.
Well, in the Underworld, the Batman Underworld, all the Batman bad guys in the team up set, a lot of them also have that kind of gives Gotham Underworld XYZ thing,
yeah.
Right? Like there's a Joker in there that gives, let me see. Yeah, friendly. If the Joker's part of a listed theme team, friendly characters that have a team ability that the Joker can use toughness, and then friendly characters with the Batman team ability have mystics.
Yep. And so I think that's...
I'm sorry. So his trait is the Batman team enemy have mystics.
Yeah.
Which you can do a lot with that. There's a lot there.
And so I think that's sort of the way that needs to go. I think of those Avengers characters, like Spider-Man was giving super senses, Black Widow was giving stealth to people with Avengers keyword and things like that. So I think that's, if we probably see more of that as they build the new sets coming forward. That's my thinking. Cool. Okay.
I think you're right. I think we're going to see a lot more of that, which is okay. I mean, they're just building more synergy into it to replace kind of the synergy that you lost with Theme Team.
Yeah.
Which is all right. I got no complaints there.
Yep. Okay. So Bobby, you're in Thailand now.
Yes, I am. I'm still here. I'm here. We've got 2 more days of corporate meetings, so it should be entertaining.
Yay. But you did have a chance to go out and play Heroclix, and we sort of, yesterday, was it? And
yes, yep.
How was the experience?
It was great. It was really good. So I played with Bright, and I'm probably terribly mispronouncing the other guy's name, Satish. And they were really good. They were great players. So, and the way I found them was, I'm trying to remember how I found them. I think I Googled Heroclix in Thailand. Found that the board game, just why not, right? Found that the board game, like they are based out of a board game cafe, right? Found the board game cafe on Facebook and just kind of messaged them and was like, hey, so when do you guys regularly do events? I'm kind of for work, have been here like once every month for 3 to 5 days, or once every month and a half, right? And I was like, I'll catch up with you guys next time I'm around, right? So, and this trip, just the way things go, right? So my boss was flying in. He was getting in on a red eye Sunday morning and was like, "Hey, I'm getting in Sunday morning," and I'm like, "Okay." So you're, yeah, and the boss was like, "So we should probably do meetings on that Sunday morning," and I'm like, "Dang it, crap, fine, whatever." So I
What?
ended up flying. Yeah, it's, can I say, work for a soulless American corporate company.
You can't say that.
it's, it's, and don't get me wrong, I do love my job, and I do actually really like the company. I do actually really like my boss, but also does work like 17-hour days, 6 days a week.
Yeah.
And wow, it can just end. And especially while he's traveling, like keeping up with his schedule can be a little bit of a pain. So I went, I was like, fine, whatever. And you know, and because we are also going through a merger, et cetera, et cetera. There's just been a lot of work to be done, and it's just been a lot more busy than it kind of, in general, than it kind of is.
Yep.
So he was like, "Listen, you know, there's X amount of things we got to get through. I probably need the extra time. Can you get in on the Sunday?" I'm like, "Fine, what else?" So I actually ended up flying all day Saturday from Brisbane to Bangkok. You know, and you can't get there direct. You have to go through Singapore. So anyway, it's a thing. So I got in Saturday night, but like it was great. So I got booked all my tickets, was planning on flying the Saturday, etc. And earlier this week on the Monday, my boss texted me and was like, "Hey, so I think I have COVID."
Oh,
And I'm like, "Oh, really?"
Hey, woo,
That's
and you're
kind
like,
of
woohoo! Oh, hang on, no, that's not a good thing, is it?
well, that was that correct. I was like, okay, let me filter myself
Yes.
before I respond. Oh, that sucks. I'm so sorry. So, but he was like, okay, yeah, I'm definitely positive. And then he messaged me a couple, like an hour later. He's like, yeah, I'm definitely positive. Just took a rat, and it's like bright red. And he's like, so give me 3 or 4 days. Let me see if I can get to the point where I'm testing negative, and then I'm still coming. And I'm like,
Yep.
great, fine, whatever. So, but like by Wednesday of this week, he was like, no, it was well, and what I did, I got a little sneaky. I was like, okay, so the boss may not make it on Sunday. Let me message the crew in Thailand and see if they're doing like, see, you know, that means I have Saturday. That means, you know, I get in Saturday, I have Sunday open in Thailand. Let me message the crew in Thailand and see what they're doing or anything. And like, they're like, no, we'd love to get some games in. Come over on the Sunday afternoon. I'm like, okay, that will be the tentative plan. We plan on doing that.
If my boss doesn't come, that's what I'm doing.
Correct. In the hope that the boss doesn't get better, right? And even if he does better, maybe I can sneak out or something. Right? So now, like Friday morning, he messaged me and was like, "No, I'm still testing positive. I'm not gonna make it. You're gonna have to go into all the meetings without me." And I'm like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. That's so bad." Yes, that is awesome. It's so great. So, but yeah, no, it was so we and they are so Vigilance Board Game Cafe. Let me make sure I'm telling you that right. It's Vigilant. I'm sorry, Vigilant Board Game Cafe.
Yep.
And it's about a 40-minute ride from downtown Bangkok, which is where most of the hotels kind of are. Great guys though. So Bright runs the store. He's also a big Heroclix fan, and he's kind of the tournament organizer, and also kind of does a lot of the community outreach stuff here. And then Satish was the guy that I played kind of. We kind of hung out, and so the first game we did was more of a casual game. I brought my. So we were moving into a new office here in Thailand. So we had a corporate IT guy on the ground here this last week, who also, on occasion has been known to play games. And
Yeah.
I've done some one-page rules games with him, which, should I ever finally decide I wish to be involved with Heroclix no longer, one-page rules is probably where I'll go. Just because it's a very cool open source, non-copyright infringing version of all the Warhammer games.
Yeah, cool.
Right, but it's also a rules set that's maintained by players, so it feels like the rules set is a lot more efficient and balanced, and there's like no power creep.
Yep.
Because they're not trying to sell you anything. So
They're just trying
it's
to
kind
make
of
an even game to play.
yeah, it totally does, and there's some benefit there. So anyway, I've played one-page rules with him before. So I was like, well, hey, I'm gonna, you're still, and he was still on the ground because the boss was originally coming in, right, to be part of those meetings. And yeah, I was like, well, you want to learn a new kind of strategic miniature war game board game? And he's like, sure. I'm like, okay, well, he's like, can you shoot me the blurb? So I shot him the blurb that I've used for, Facebook posting and trying to build general interest in the game before, which is just talking about like the fact that it's a mix of DC, Marvel, Batman, the Hulk, but with wrestlers and the occasional Star Trek, etc., etc. So the IT guy was like, yeah, what the hey, I give it a shot. Does it have mechs? So I'm like digging through my collection for all these like anything that looks even vaguely robotic to put on a team for him, right?
Going back to
So I actually
Invincible Iron Man
totally,
and pulling out.
correct, yeah, totally, totally. Well, and I ended up pulling. And I was like, huh, like the old Pacific Rim characters. He's like,
Yep.
that would be awesome. One of them was an Aussie. And I'm like, you're right, it totally was. So we did at the hotel that early afternoon, kind of did a training round. Just taught him on the Pacific Rim characters, and went out to the shop and we did a 3-player with Bright, my coworker Brett, and me. And we actually, and they kind of for demo games had the Regenesis dudes, the X-Men Regenesis set in the box, which is. And like it is a surprisingly, I've not, because again, it wasn't available in Australia.
This is true.
Like we missed all the events with the Regenesis set, right? It is a shockingly well balanced play in Seal, like in the sealed format. It just plays really super well.
Nice.
And the characters are not overly complicated. Like, I mean, my coworker's a smart guy, a very smart guy in IT and does very well, right?
Yeah.
But like he was able to and those characters in particular kind of simplified it enough that he was able to hold his own entirely in the game. And were it not for the 3 super senses rolls that Bright rolled in a row, I think Brett totally would have had that game. Totally would have won it.
Cool.
So, and that one was really fun. And that one we played just for funsies, right? And we kind of did it as a demo game, so Brett could kind of more internalize the rules, right? And that one, so we played that one for probably like an hour and a half, right?
Yep.
And just to kind of see how it all played out.
Because you're learning and you're teaching and saying you can do this and you can do that.
Correct. Yeah.
That's,
yeah.
Yes, I was going to say that's
those Regenesis.
Sorry, Bobby.
Go for it.
I was going to say that's something I've found is that when I'm teaching or like, so my friend come around. I have another friend come around every couple of Friday nights, and we just play Heroclix and it'd be like a 3-hour game, but we're not rushing it, and we're saying you could. I'm teaching him, so I'm saying you could do this or you could do that, or there's this option here to do, and so we're looking at all the options rather than just. When I'm at nationals, I just sit there and be quiet. Go, it's your turn. Okay, I'll talk during my turn.
Correct. Yeah, totally correct. Yeah, it is such a thing. Well, and it was interesting because, and maybe it's his IT background, but like, Brett, my coworker, picked up order of operations and the importance of it in Heroclix really quickly, right?
Cool. Yep.
Which is to say the whole sidestep to position to perplex to charge, or like perplex, charge, then sidestep back out to be able to set up for the next round, right?
Yeah.
So, because it's order of operations ends up being very important in Heroclix.
It does.
So, which was cool. That was very fun. So we played that one, and then round 2, like I brought, messaging and coordinating all of it with. Bright, the crew before coming, kind of like, well, do you want me to bring kind of like a meta team, like based on just what people have been playing in the States and what seems to be strong, and like throw stuff out there. And he was like, yeah, that'd be awesome. So I mean, in the build I played was, and I guess let me get it so I don't forget anybody. So I played Sicarian Iron Man, Commissioner, Sky Tyrant, Faust. One second, let me pull up the sheet.
That's enough, isn't it?
Yeah, well, pretty much right. Obviously, the cloak of levitation on Securian. Well, and
Yeah,
really, it kind of was right. So,
it's
cloak
going
of
50.
levitation on
Yeah,
Securian Iron
but
Man,
it's like only like
Prof X.
160 points. Just got
Really,
another
really,
140.
it just
That,
it's like the 140 points that plays like a friggin' 400 point team, right? So, oh, it totally is. So, Professor X, Swap X, right?
yep.
55 points. Uh, P Captain Britain. X of Swords OP Captain Britain. But that was just more for, I just wanted a 55 point X Men themed sword bearer.
Yep.
Could have been. And there were 3 or 4 different options there. Worth noting, though, I do feel like that OP Captain Britain is ridiculous.
Okay.
She's so good.
I'll have to have a
And
look at her.
like, he's solid. Top click. And if you're playing her full points, he's kind of an investment, right?
Yep.
I'm playing her full points. You're playing her at 100 points, but she's a 13 for 4 without the sword, right? And then if you throw the sword on her, she's a 13 for 4 plus whatever the sword does, right? And she has leadership that's a 4 through 6 leadership, but she can remove an action token from a friendly, in addition to the 4 through 6 leadership, she can remove an action token from a friendly character within range. So she has a 4 through 6 leadership. When you hit, it also pulls an action token off another friendly within 5.
Nice.
Yeah. So, and like, she's probably, and if you're playing her at the 60, or I assume you're paying 5 points for the sword bearer, because
Yep.
you should be, right?
Because why not? Yep.
So at this, yeah, exactly. At the 60 point line, she's a 12 for 4 with the sword and all that same stuff.
Yep.
And she also has mystics.
Yep. Mystics. Yep. I can see that there. No, she looks good.
Yeah, she's good. And she kind of dies to range, but if you're playing her at range, you're probably playing her wrong. Like,
Exactly.
really.
If she's getting shot, you're playing it wrong.
Yeah, correct. It's totally a thing, right? She needs to be in people's way. But anyway, I was mostly playing her for points, right?
Yep.
So, and that was 250 points, and I'm like, huh. I have 50 points left that I could literally do anything I want to with. So I threw Dexstar on there.
Okay. Cool.
Just because he's the one that I've got the red ring, and I've ended up with most of the red constructs. So chucked him on there, and just to see what constructs could do and see how it played, right? So it was more the interesting thing.
Yep.
But it was like, and then Satish, his build was Faust. Obviously, he played 60 point Faust. Probably
Okay.
more for survivability than anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then he played Double Chase Flash from Wonder Woman,
Ooh. Okay.
which was interesting. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I'm like, huh. I don't think I've ever seen anybody play
And then you
that
go, I
Flash.
need to have a look at the card because I actually don't know what he
Yeah,
does.
correct. Correct. Yeah. Well, like all of the chases from Wonder Woman had the construct ability,
Yes.
and the Flash has all of the blue constructs, right? So, and he's a 19 super senses. If he moves he's got phasing, and if he uses he moves, so he has the constructs. Sorry, so he's 50 points, the construct ability. He has a phasing teleport that if you move him 6 or less, he can then flurry.
Yeah, it's free. Yep.
And he's got super senses and prob, a 19 defense, super senses prob.
Yep.
And he had then the next one. So he had 2 of those, and he had Saint Walker. Right? Saint Walker with the ring, and with Walker's ability,
So they're doing 11 for
functionally,
4.
yeah, correct. That's an 11 for 4. Hold on a second. Let me look at the blue ring, because I think it was even more than that. And he was full. He was a 60 point as well. That crits on 10 plus.
Yep.
Clicked on 10 plus, and then the blue ring. So it does something.
So
It
blue room
is-
adds 1 to attack, and if they've already
Yeah,
got
that's the one
power.
to attack. Yeah. Yep. So that, and so Faust's Perplex was functionally making it like a 12 for. He got to a 12 for 5
Yep.
there off of another Empower somehow. Oh, so okay, and that was the main core of the build, and then kind of the swing part of the build was Surtur, Legacy Surtur.
Cool.
Yeah, yeah, why not, right? And then, interestingly enough, Batman team up the Brain. I thought was really smart
I
because he could just run the Flash, run the Brain up with the Flash. Brain can be given a non-free action after you carry him. He's an 11 attack master, or 11 attack mind control with an outwit top dial.
Yep. No, I've looked at him. I like.
Brain, I think, is meta.
Yeah,
He's got some real potential.
well, just that fact you can move up and have that non-free action to do that mind control. You can move him up, outwit, use his outwit, mind control someone, do some big damage using their own characters. It's yeah, I think he's very good.
Totally.
He's just got to be
And
carried up.
especially like versus my build, like where you're, if you mind control Sky Tyrant or securing an Iron Man,
Just
it's
quake
entirely
the whole-
possible they just eat. Correct, yeah, correct.
Just
It's entirely
quake-
possible they just eat your whole team,
Yeah.
like in turn one.
Yeah, that's why
Um,
you had those characters like Guy Gardner and that yeah, just not good against mind control.
Yeah.
Guy Gardner, the Gamora was another one. Like great characters, but if you got mind control, they just destroy your own team.
Correct. Yeah, it's very much a risky kind of proposition. And interestingly enough, he played the Mercy, the X-Men Nexus Swords Mercy, which is if they get hit, you can re-roll it.
Yep.
Right. Once per attack, when this character is targeted, you can re-roll it. And then the Twilight Sword, which I had never seen before. And the Twilight Sword is blades, obviously, but when this character uses it after resolutions, you may generate a number of blocking terrain markers up to the D6 result.
Yeah,
Oh,
I've got the Twilight Sword. I think they came with Annihilation, the Annihilation Chase,
gotcha. Nice.
and yeah,
It's an
and-
interesting effect.
Yeah, I've actually used it before. I've used it in a Cape Pride team. We have to go to like their starting area, and then I blade someone and got 5, and they're like, "Cool, I can put 5 barrier up and buried myself in, so I could stay safe in their
Nutty.
own starting area." Yeah, it is a bit crazy, but yeah. I also thought about it. It's like things like, cool, you could charge in, hit them. If you hit 4, you could just barrier them in. Like the
Yeah,
person,
totally. You can
and-
totally block them off and kind
Yeah,
of help
and
prevent
so-
the retower.
So it's a really interesting one.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
cool. And so was it a good
Yeah.
experience playing?
It was great, and I was actually really impressed in both games how well both Bright and Satish knew the rules.
Yep.
Like they were really clear on them, and I mean, and obviously they're they kind of hang out in a board game cafe a lot.
Yeah.
So they play a whole bunch of different stuff. They're no stranger to kind of game rules, but both of them were super clear on the rules and just really great players. It was awesome. So and we played that meta game. We played functionally new rules. I went first, right? So I swapped.
Okay,
in.
cool. Yep.
Yeah. So and again, that was kind of there, just for points, right? So I swapped in Maggot and the Gala Polaris. And
Yes.
the Gala Polaris for 40 points is just ridiculous.
Yep.
Like, free TK, outwit, and then TK. And then her ability is just really good. Like the whole anything that she shares a keyword with could potentially, what was it? If when a friendly character with the X-Men keyword attacks and the attack roll includes exactly 1/5, replace the other with a 5.
Yep. And then if you've got Saint working in your team, it all becomes a critical hit.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. And then if the roll is a 5/5, after resolutions, choose a friendly character within range and place that character up to 2 squares away. So she's got some repositioning ability there too.
Yep. No, my friend, I got a set of the Hexman Gala. My friend got a next set of that as well, and yeah, we played a little bit of that, and yeah, she was certainly one of the most valuable pieces in there. Just crazy. We were playing it with Logshot, so that was
That's a little ridiculous.
yeah. I think I've said it before, but we really enjoyed that whole. You just load we'd use Moira to load long shot up, and then long shot would just go and just attack, and he drops his running day of 5, and then it's like a 10, and then because his rolls of double 5s are critical hits, and yeah, it was pretty cool.
Oh, that's insane! I didn't even look at that combo before. Yeah, that long shot with that Polaris is ridiculous.
Yeah, so we had Moira, so that by turn 2 he had two tokens on him, and then it was just and the other one we really liked was to have the Cyclops from the X-Men Gala with him as well, because Cyclops they had to take a token off someone, and so long shot just kept going. He'd run up, he'd running shot, hit, critical hit, take a token off himself, or Cyclops take a token off him, move him back 2 squares, then go again next turn, and just it was pretty cool.
That's nuts, dude. That is that's a really good combo.
Yeah, you just need a little bit. It just need a little bit more. You had to actually keep long shot pretty well protected, but you had that because you had could running shot up. You TK him back. You could move him 2 squares, so you could keep him well protected, and then bring him back out again. It's cool. So it sounds like it was a really good experience playing with the guys in Thailand.
It was great. Had a blast with it, and totally will try to play with them again in the future whenever I'm here on trips.
Excellent. And it sounds like you had found another resource for Heroclix product.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so they actually managed to have like a pretty good stock available from their distributor. Like their distributor seems way better than ours, just in general. Yeah, simple as that. And actually stocks stuff and has stuff available, right? So they had the X of Swords OP event packages, right? So I ended up picking up.
Yeah, which we never saw in Australia, from my understanding.
We totally did not get it whatsoever. No, I didn't, and never were made available that I was aware of.
No.
Never. I don't think the distributor tried to get anyone to get any of them.
I was not sure if they know what to get.
Yeah, I think it's very possible. Yeah, so I ended up picking up brick 1, 2, and 3, month 1, 2, and 3 from the guys here, and then also X of Swords, just an X of Swords brick for some of the players in Queensland.
Oh, cool.
Because X of Swords was also one that we had very, very low availability for in Australia for whatever reason. I don't know if they just didn't buy any or didn't ask anybody if anybody wanted to buy any or whatever.
Yeah, so I guess we're at that stage probably talking about distribution in Australia. It sounds like your time in Thailand was great, and it's great to have that new connection to get product. But
it helped.
It really did. I'm glad to hear about the X of Swords stuff and the OP stuff, because that's things that we just haven't seen here in Australia. And so it's
totally a thing, right?
Yeah.
Well, surprisingly, and they at the shop even had some stuff on the shelf, like the Punchline, Ashley Barton, and Warp World Phoenix, which, kind of LEs from that first year of COVID, maybe. That again, we totally did not see in Australia.
We didn't see them at Nationals this last year, did we? We got some good stuff at Nationals.
We totally did. Credit to WizKids, and maybe LPG helped them out somehow. I don't know, but credit to WizKids. I do feel like our pricing at Nationals in Australia was really, really good.
Yeah, and it got to us, that was really good. So I'll give credit there to, I'm not sure who that was. Look, we've got in Australia we have down to one distributor, I guess, for Heroclix, and that's LPG, or Let's Play Games, and I think they've been learning about what we're looking for as Heroclix players. I think that's what's been the hassle. That's my feeling.
I agree with that.
Look, just going back, so X of Swords, they did have some boosters, but some boosted cases, but they sold really quickly, and so someone got them in Australia. It wasn't my shop, I know that much, so someone else did. And then the same thing happened with Avengers Forever, and my shop was pretty quick onto the mark, and so we got those, but I know that Melbourne missed out on Avengers Forever because we got them at our shop, and it's just this limited supply of Heroclix, which we're sort of all clamouring over. They didn't bring any Batman into Australia, as in the
And
boosters.
that right there, and like that to me kind of illustrates how very little attention they pay to the game,
Yeah,
period. Because everything about the Batman set just screams a set that would sell off of any retail shelf. I mean, it's got freaking Scooby Doo in it, right?
yeah. And it's
I
got
mean, like, and Teen Titans Go,
yeah.
exactly. Like, what, to, well, okay, 8 to 38-year-old isn't going to look at that box and just be like, yes, I want some of
Well,
that.
I guess what I can. They did get the miniatures game in, and my shop actually got two miniatures game in, and they're on the shelf. And I went in last Thursday or something like that, and they go, "Oh, we got the miniatures game here." I said, "Oh, cool. I'll get that next Sunday when I come in." When I come in to play, that's when I wasn't ready to spend money, and that was spending money on something else. Went in a couple of days later to get something else, and they were both gone. And I'm like, no,
Yeah,
they're both
well,
gone.
okay. They're
And
like, no, what happened?
yeah, because I'm going one, I'm going, no, I've missed out on getting my Raven. Pretty much that's what it's for, isn't it? And
Yes, correct. That is totally what that is. That is totally what
and
that
a
is
map,
for.
I guess. But I was talking to my friend tonight. He goes, "Oh yeah, I put one on lay-by." So I was like, "Cool." So I know what one is, but one of them someone else has picked up, and so I'd love to know if it was because it was the Scooby Doo or the Teen Titans, or what the reason was for someone else to pick it up. But and so I'm just for myself, I'm going, if a new product's there, people may actually purchase it at our store.
Well, same. And we're trying to, and I mean, we, starting at the new shop, we kind of got him to order some bricks. He got them in really quickly, surprisingly, from LPG. The only stuff they had available, and I did it just to get the new players any product that was modern, right?
Yeah.
Because, and some of them had some existing stuff, and I mean, it was like, and I obviously have all the newbies that I've kind of loaded them up with, which is just kind of your CUR stuff from,
If you're like me, you got shoe boxes full of Heroclix. Like I got
so true. It's
so many shoe boxes of Rise and Fall. Where I'm like, okay, I've just got to chuck it in the bin one day. But
well, correct, right? It's kind of a thing, right? So, yeah, I just do giveaway bags. To,
yeah, and that's what I do
basically
too.
people into the game, right? It's totally a thing. So, so they had all that stuff, but they actually wanted to buy new stuff. I'm like, yes, we should totally get. So anyway, we ended up getting what they could get, LPG, which was X-Men Rise and Fall and War of the Realms, right?
Yep.
So in retail for us, and we've actually not opened them yet because at the same time, I was talking to them to see what they could get stock. I reached out to some friends in the States and got Batman team up for us that way, right? So, but it was kind of, and honestly, surprisingly, we're paying 27 a booster at retail at the shop, and it was honestly cheaper to buy it from the States and ship it over.
Yeah,
and use
Bobby,
that.
it was cheap when so you were generous enough to get myself a couple cases of the Batman team up, and yeah, that was cheaper than buying 2 cases at my shop.
That is so sad.
It is sad,
so sad.
but I will buy an expensive case at my shop to say that we still want to honour,
just to support
and support them and say they're supporting
the
us.
shop,
So I want to keep that support going there. But yeah, I was certainly like, ooh, this is a lot cheaper than what I was paying.
How shocking is that?
But,
Well,
yeah.
and I don't, and asking and talking to the shop guy about it because, one of them was like, "Hey, how is it cheaper for us to?" I mean, and don't get me wrong, we want to support the shop, right?
Yep.
Absolutely do. You want a place to play and you want a place to go and game and support.
And I've had that thought lately, going, do I really need to go to shop to play? Because really we're just going there because there's so I guess the bigger things is there's no price support from WizKids, and so we're sort of going there, and I'll bring so I guess now I'll bring in my rares I've got left over from Batman, because no one else will have them, and there'll be new things that people can have, but. Yeah, I'm going. So people going, why? So my son and I going, well, why are we coming in and getting this LE from? It's a Daredevil LE from so many years ago, and because my shop, they brought a few of those things to have, but I think I've got 6 play-at-home kits that I've sort
Nice.
of like taken away. Like if my son and I
Yeah.
both play, we both got a play-at-home kit, and so I've got like 3 Verizon 4 ones and yeah, 2 Wonder Woman ones, and so they're sitting there. But that's okay. I'm going. Hopefully, I'll be able to start back up my kids at school at some stage, and then I can give away lots of Heroclix again and see what happens and start that rolling with I guess with our COVID slowdown. I haven't actually done that to any strong degree, and so I'm hoping that can get some people back in. We'll see how it goes.
All good. Yeah. Well, that's kind of where we're at too, right? It's like,
Yeah.
I mean, and yeah, we were basically just trying to find a shop which was convenient for most of us to be able to get to, and just the fact that he was able to get any product at all and was willing to buy any product at all seemed like progress in general. So,
Yeah.
and I mean, X-Men Riff and War of the Realms are both pretty cool sets too.
Yeah,
So,
War of the Realms there, certainly. I'll keep going for that. I'm looking, I think, I know I started first day of work, and my Tabletop Warfare, which is my local shop, they texted me and said, hey, there's new Heroclix on Let's Play Games. It was the Avengers 60th. What do you want? And I was like, excellent. And so I quickly had a look and said, yep, I want 2 cases and I want each of the play-at-home kits. So they were able to put that on order. And it looks like Let's Play Games has gone to a thing of going, hey, you've got this many days to order. And so get your orders in, and that's what we'll get. That's what I'm thinking, maybe. I'm not sure.
yeah, here's hoping. Maybe
And
that's the way they went. That could be kind of cool. So.
yeah, and they were on there, and then they disappeared, and I was like, no, but then they came back on there, which is really good. And scrolling through further, I found they've actually got Spider-Man Beyond Amazing as well. But
Really, holy crap!
but
I'm
it
kinda
says
shocked
that,
by
yeah. So I'm really intrigued because they've got it's out of stock for the boosters already. But
Yeah.
they've still got the play-at-home kits because there's 2 play-at-home kits for that one, and looks like
Really?
yeah, because they've got one with Miles, I think, and one with Spider-Man, with Peter Parker. I think that's if I remember correctly. And yeah, the other thing I'm thinking is they may actually be in the actual store, but I'm not sure. Anyway, that's another thing to look at later on. But look, I think they're trying to understand who we are and what our market is and what we're looking for. And all we can do is continue to give them information. But we need some on the shelves in our shop.
Well, it's kind of the thing, right? And I mean, I get the whole, and I'm in business. I totally get the whole. Is it worth my investment? Is it worth the risk as a shop to
Yeah.
have this stuck on the shelf if it's never going to move, right? But like, it's also hard to get people to play the game if they literally can never buy anything for it,
Yeah.
right?
Exactly.
And that's kind of where we're at.
And
So,
so my shop's my shop's pretty good. But sometimes they, I don't know, they get stuck. I purchased a case of War of Light.
yeah.
Both. So I purchased 2 cases, one of the first lot and one of the second lot, and they were $70 for a case. $70 for a case? No,
Yeah.
that seems ridiculous. That seems too little as well. But it wasn't very much. And my shop was still selling them at $20 a booster, and like going, dude, I could buy this much, and I can like, yeah. And I said, why don't you
Yeah.
just drop it down, and we'll buy them all then, and you'll get rid of them. So shops, I think, but I think we're hoping that Let's Play Games continues to understand, I guess, our market, and we just need to continue to tell them what we're looking for, and hopefully
That is very true.
we know we're not
Well, honestly, maybe
we're not a big market.
no, it's fair. I mean, all up, we've got what, our 8 plus you've probably got what,
I've probably got like
maybe
5
6 people to buy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's
maybe
good.
5.
And
That would-
it's good to hear Melbourne with Mark and that they have a group as well that's building, which is really good. And so we've just got to wait and see.
well, frankly, Mark is probably the biggest player base out there right
Yeah.
now because I think they've got like 10 people or so that will kind of regularly play, right?
Yep.
So,
Yeah. So
all up, you're talking like maybe customers, which I mean, I guess when viewed from that perspective, I kind of get it.
Yeah, and there'd be 30 Magic players in my store, so
Yeah,
just it makes
absolutely. It's totally
sense. But look, we can only continue to ask and continue to grab what we can when we can. So it's more so, I think, when OP stuff starts coming back and we're able to access that because people come to get some of that.
Absolutely. Well, and like looking at the Extra Sword stuff, they designed it like, and I'm kind of really super excited because we're going to use one of these bricks as a sealed event for the players in Queensland. Like
I wish I could travel up for that.
the rules. Yeah. Well, like the rules set for it is really cool because basically it's your standard battle royale. So like you crack the pack, you crack the pack, you take out the sword, take out the tarot card. The tarot card is added to a communal deck that you add the tarot card from the OP kit into, right?
Yep.
So everybody's playing with the tarot cards that you pull in the boosters plus those two, right? You have your sword, you pick a character, and then you pass, right? You pick and pass, right? So you'll end up with your 4 characters. Everybody in the booster, even if they don't have the sword bearer trait, is considered to have the sword bearer trait. So functionally, you can equip the sword you pull on any one of your characters, right? Then you play standard battle royale with the glaring exception that when your character dies, your opponent scores the points, but you get to resurrect them next round.
Ooh, concurrent revival.
Yeah, for free.
Nice.
Which is like a really cool way to play battle royale that I've never even considered, right? Because like I feel like a lot of battle royales, it's kind of, well, I mean, it's battle royale, right? Like you kill theft is absolutely the way you should be playing battle royale, right?
That's right. Well, you're last, and so by the time it gets back to you, you're nearly dead, or and then you're out, and you go, oh,
Totally
cool, I'll
cool.
sit here and watch you guys play for the rest of the game.
Yeah, it's totally the thing, right? And like if you march a dude out there, if it's at all squishy, expect someone to gang it. And like you march a dude out there, or if you run out with a running shot or a charge and whiff on the attack, whatever you ran out there with, you can just kind of like be like, okay,
It's not going to be there next time.
Now.
Yep.
Correct.
So coming back in, it keeps you in the game. Was that the idea?
Correct, yeah. So characters that were KO'd would respawn in their starting area at the beginning of the controller's next turn after being scored. And then you just keep track of the victory points, right?
Yeah. So it sounds like a really fun way to play.
I'm looking forward to trying that as a format. I kind of feel like that will be a little bit, and don't get me wrong, it's a little extra bookkeeping, right? But I kind of feel like that'll be a more enjoyable battle royale because you're right, especially in a 4-player game. And, I mean, if you're doing sealed and pick and pass, like, entirely possible to end up with a super rare or even a chase that you took that is squishy as.
Yep.
Because of whatever effect, like, I mean, Scrappy do, right? If I crack a booster and I see Scrappy, am I taking Scrappy? Yes, I'm taking Scrappy. How well is he going to do in that battle royale? Probably not, right? He's kind of squishy, and so like you're right. It's entirely possible in a battle royale that you just get punked, and you sit there for 45 minutes to watch other people play. And I feel like this will fix that.
Yeah, and I like that idea. So I look forward to hearing how it all goes, Bobby, at your shop. It sounds really good.
It should be fun.
Yeah. Cool. We're sort of heading towards the hour mark here. Let's just quickly turn and go Batman team up. Now you got a case, did you?
Yes, yep, I got a case. And essentially out of my case, I ended up with a full CUR, a full common, uncommon, rare, minus 1 rare, which Monsieur Mala for whatever weird reason. But whatever.
Did you get a Prime Beast Boy?
I did not.
Oh, okay.
No, I did get a Prime Beast Boy. Yeah,
yes. so that's probably the slot. Because he's
totally.
Yeah.
So and then I ended up getting functionally. Let me count real quick. So in my case, I got Chase Scrappy, which I was super excited for.
That's excellent.
Right. Then I got Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so I ended up getting 6 super rares and a chase
Yep.
in the case, which wasn't bad. I kind of felt like that was fine in terms of distribution, right?
Yep.
I got the super rare Batman, who feels like a ridiculously good Batman and a really good character, but it's so disappointing because he's not the prime Batman that you know you want.
Yes,
So,
very much so. I understand that.
it's like you look at him and you're like, oh, this is a great. Like your first
He's
impression is crap.
yeah,
It's not the prime
that's
Batman.
right.
Then you look at him and you're like, this is an amazing Batman.
Yeah, I think I did the same
Crap. It's
thing.
not the prime Batman. Totally right. So and then I ended up with 3 rings,
Oh wow.
and not nearly the utility belt, 3 rings, and then not nearly enough of any one color construct at all to make it playable.
Yep.
Like I think I ended up with like 2 of one of the colors of the construct.
Okay, so that's sounds a little different to mine. But you enjoyed the opening and you played some at the shop as well and was able to get some more.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, and we did the sealed, so I got a case for myself, and I got a case for the shop, and we did sealed. And everybody paid for the sealed, and kind of just reimbursed my cost of the case
Yep.
with the sealed at the shop, and it was great. It was really fun to play, and everybody enjoyed playing the Mystery Inc. crew and the Teen Titans Go crew, and then just kind of whatever else was in there, right? Honestly, so we did 2 rounds of it, just because we had enough product, right, to do 2 rounds of it. And like honestly, the highlight of both rounds was watching one of those death strokes pull off a pulse wave that nuked like 6 figures.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
I look
It
forward to
was
trying him out
spectacular.
at one time. Yep, he looks really good fun to
Oh,
play too.
he's well, and dude, I was in that pod and I was like, okay, my objective is to kill that Deathstroke. It couldn't be done.
No.
It just doesn't. Like between the 3 stop clicks, the mastermind, and the regen. Like, and I was dumping damage in him too. I was doing the work, and it just was not happening.
Yeah, and when you do the work and it doesn't happen, it's like, oh, it feels such a downer, doesn't it? So, but yeah, he looks really interesting, and I've heard that he's very good, very very good. Uh,
Nigh on unkillable. It's as simple as that.
so I guess for myself, Bobby, with my cases, so I got 2 cases. I got you get me 2 cases because that's the only way I could get them. So thank you very much again for that. And I opened up my first case. I got I got a Batman. So super rare Batman. And it was a big lantern one. So I got LaFleas, I got Dexter, I got Sinestro, which was really cool.
Nice.
I got what's her name, Fatality as well.
Yep. Yep.
So
And
Dexter.
I gotta say, like, both the and honestly, all of the super rare sculpts. Batman maybe not so much. The normal super rare Batman maybe not so much. But I felt like Larfleeze, like Dexstar, like Fatality, like Sinestro. All of the sculpts were really pretty rocking.
They yeah
You know, I feel like they're yeah.
I certainly I looked at that Lovely's and a lot, and it's just really well sculpted. It just looks good. And
Yeah.
Sinestro with his swords, it's got those swords.
Yeah. Oh, he looks great.
He looks really good. And so and I can't think. I got 3 mystery cards in my first case.
Nice.
So that was an interesting thing. I got
Yep.
I got 1 ring, got a Green Lantern ring, so that was good. And I got a utility belt, so I was pretty happy. I was going through, no, I haven't got a chase, or can't find a chase. It took me a while to figure out I got a friend chase. 'Cause there was so many friends.
That's awesome. That's hilarious. That's great.
I actually had to go through the cards in the end to go, oh, that's my chase. A friend, let's find him.
Yeah. You don't. You're like, wait a second. Holy crap! He's a chase.
Yep.
Who knew?
So,
That's hilarious.
you know, it's not the best one, but hey, that's still fine. I still got a friend chase, which is good to have. and so yeah, I got a reason. So for
Well,
only
really,
getting
he's solid, dude.
yeah,
Like he's really good for what he does. The 19 defend plus the TK, plus support, like leadership. He's good. He's
yeah,
not bad, man. You
yeah,
can build around
and I
him.
think yeah, in the new with the new rules that'll become valuable as well. So look, I was happy to get the Green Lantern ring because I was thinking, well, that's that's the one you want. With Green Lanterns around the place,
True.
I'm trying to think if I got Joe Mullen in that first one as well, in my first case. But yeah, only getting one Green Lantern ring and one and a bat belt. So then I got like 18 objects, 18 constructs. So that was good. Started to fill out some constructs there. So I was pretty happy. I think I was hoping to see some more rings, but you take that. But I was still got a chase and I got Beast Boy Prime in mine as in that
Beast
case.
Boys are really good.
Yeah, and I thought that's a great piece as well. I was trying to think.
Yeah,
I
he
can't find
totally
it.
is.
Yep. And so then I was like, cool. So it was late at night. I thought, cool, let's open up the second one. And started to go through the second one. Now I've got a Wonder Woman super rare. I got
Nice.
yeah, but it wasn't the prime
The
one again.
prime.
So I was like, oh
Yeah,
no,
it's
it's not
not
the
the
prime one.
prime. It's not the
But that's
prime.
okay.
Yeah.
But as I did go through,
He's still really good though.
yeah, yeah. I know I got LaFleeze, Sinestro, and Dexter as swaps. Uh, but so that was okay. I got Cyborg as well was one of the other ones I
Ooh,
got, so that was cool. But
that book is really good.
in that second
Sorry, go
case, I didn't get a ring, so there was no rings in the
really at
second
all.
case,
Oh, that
and
is weird. What the
yeah,
heck, dude?
and that was like so that was a bit of a downer. I was like, oh man, I got a bat belt or a utility belt, so then I got another 19 constructs. So I got I got like 37 constructs or something like that, and
You have you have like all the constructs, but none of the rings. That is
yeah, so
weird.
yeah, so I've got like
This odd
six, I think
distribution.
six of the orange constructs. I just need a ring now to use them, and I think I've got a chainsaw on the way. I think so. But yeah, so I'm on the lookout for some rings. I didn't get Saint Walker in mine either, so that's another thing I'm looking out for. Oh yeah, and in that second case, I got a Chase Robin, so that was cool. So
Nice.
probably playing some bat teams, soon because he looks really usable. But I did not
Yeah.
get a prime in the second case, which was disappointing.
Weird. No
Yeah.
prime. That is disappointing. What the
Um,
heck?
and so I went to bed, probably never buying Heroclix ever again. Uh,
Yeah, yeah, totally, yeah, yeah. We've all been there. Yeah,
right, and then
totally.
the next day I went to work and I was like, oh man. But then when I come home, I was looking through, going, okay, I'm got to be pretty happy. Disappointed that I didn't get the extra chase, and now I'm going to have to go chase some rings. But overall,
Yeah.
I got Joe. All right, so I'm going. I got Joe Mullen, I think it is Green Lantern, and thinking
He's
with the
very
ring on, and yep, that person could go, which is good. So I've got some good pieces to play. Um,
nice.
so still be chasing some things, but hey, I guess that's Heroclix, isn't it?
Such a thing. Well, dude, I'm like, I'll probably be in the States. I haven't got it sorted out by May. Doing a family trip to the States in May, so I can source them from there for you.
Yeah, cool.
So,
Okay, well, and I'm sure we'll talk. But yeah, so overall, I've actually really enjoyed the Batman set from what I've played so far, which has just been the. Oh no, I've played Mystery Inc. I've played Laughley's, so I look forward to playing some more of them. And I think yeah, as you said, it was a good fun in your sealed environment, and I think yeah, I'm really looking forward to playing a bit more of it.
yeah. Well, like interestingly enough, I kind of felt like in Sealed there were very few. Like there's very few crappy. Like there's very few other than Moss and Menos.
Yeah,
Like there's very few figs that you could play this sealed with that would just be terrible.
yeah,
Right? Like everybody seemed to have a pretty competitive play in terms of their pools from it, which well, that's pretty good, man. That's pretty balanced.
yeah,
Like I've played enough battle royales of Heroclix that like I mean there are sets where basically whoever pulls the 300 point temp pole that is in that set just runs the table,
yeah.
right?
And there doesn't seem to be a
And that
lot of that. There is some, but not. Yeah,
It feels like there was a lot less of that than kind of used to be.
Yeah.
So, I think
No,
that's a
cool.
plus.
So overall, I've liked the set, and I'll probably delve into it again. We could probably delve into it another time. But yeah, I think it's a good set, and I look forward to playing more of it. Cool. And I think, Bobby, maybe I think I've had enough tonight. If you're right, I don't know what time it is there for you in Thailand.
Yeah, no, that totally works for me, brother. Yeah, yeah,
But it's
absolutely.
getting
It
on.
is. I don't even know. It's almost 6:30 p.m. here in Thailand.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
What myself?
Well, then you'll be able to go out and have some tea and enjoy the rest of your evening.
Exactly.
Cool. So yeah, thanks for joining us again. Look, for those people who have made it this far in and are still listening, thanks for listening. And to Bobby and I talk about our experiences. You're welcome to follow us on Facebook and Twitter if you like. We're not going to push it too hard, but we're there if you want. And yeah, so let's bring this thing to.
I didn't realize we had a Twitter.
I do. Well, yeah,
So
and it's
that
not.
was
It's
on
not,
me.
well, that's on me. Like I've started one. It's actually because Chris always said because it's at Barbie Clix. I didn't actually think about that when I made it. So that it sounds like it's like a Barbie, as in the Barbie doll, I guess. So.
Yeah, totally.
I think we made one of those up one time, a Barbie doll Clix, which was fun. But yeah, and yeah, we're here. You can subscribe to this YouTube channel if you want to listen to us ramble on for a while. As I say, we're not very professional. We're not very, and we're a bit sporadic, but we do enjoy talking Heroclix. And so,
Absolutely.
yeah, so Bobby, as we bring another episode to a close and turn off the Barbie, we'd like to thank you for tuning into the show. Have a great week, and remember that even a poor plan is better than no plan at all. Thanks, Bobby, for joining me tonight. And yeah, any last words?
Thanks, Ben.
Okay.
It's an amazing game. Heroclix is spectacular.
It is awesome. Have a great night. See ya.
See you too, Ben. Talk to you later. Thanks, Ben. Bye.